I didn't know what Sufism was at the time, and I still don't totally understand it. But I know this fellow is a spiritual person, and he is telling a story of some sorts about religion and spirituality, and these people are listening. I've been doing this since I was a little kid, and it just kind of grew from there over the years. I've painted all over the country, and what motivates me mostly is the love of life and landscape.
Okay, this is the last painting that this is what you painted for us.
Yes.
And we looking into the past, and this got a lot of applause.
Nice.
My wife kind of. So I used to have a turban in my past. Now I don't.
Right.
So that was very nice of you. Hello everyone, this is Rachhpal Sahota from babushahi.com. Greetings to all of you watching this video. Today we have a very interesting person with us, Chuck Marshall. Chuck is an artist. Chuck and I go many years back when I used to own a bar. Chuck was my patron, my regular at the bar, and he even actually painted me and my wife looking into the past. And that painting was applauded by my all friends and family. So with that, let's welcome Chuck. Chuck, welcome. Thank you for being here. I have actually always been fascinated by how the artists, what fascinates them, what prompts them to paint a picture. Why do they select that? So with that, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit, and then we can go over your paintings, and then you can tell us about those.
Well, again, I'm Chuck Marshall, and thank you for having me. Yeah, it's been a wonderful friendship having met you back in at the bar you own. But to answer your question about where did I start with art, I've been doing this since I was a little kid. And it just kind of grew from there over the years. And of course, I went to art school, and it was after I got out of the military. But I've taken many classes from many well-known and famous artists, if you will. And I've painted all over the country. And what motivates me mostly is the love of life and landscape. You know, I just get turned on by being outside, and I love light. You know, the way it hits things and attracts me to shapes and color. I do a lot of figurative work, which means people. Hopefully that answered your question.
Yeah, what we'll do is I will display the some of the paintings, the pictures of them that you sent me, and
Okay.
So we can go over that. I believe every painting has some sort of a story, so we'll like to listen to those stories. Okay, let me just kind of share screen. And do you have a name for it?
Yeah, it's a Sufi storyteller.
Okay, Sufi storyteller. Let's talk about this one, and then we can go move on to the other one. So what prompted you to paint the Sufi storyteller?
Well, I met this gentleman who was an art patron of mine, and he hired me to do a painting of religious paintings, and this was one of the paintings I did for him. It is a grouping of individuals that I got from different photos that he gave me, and it's a. I didn't know what Sufism was at the time, and I still don't totally understand it. But I know this this fellow is a spiritual person, and he is telling a story of some sorts about religion and spirituality, and these people are listening. Now, it seems to be in a public place, and I indicated people in the background, but
Mhm.
I kind of blurred them out a little bit because I want to put focus on him and a few of the people. But this was a very large painting. I think it's a 36-48 or 30-40, somewhere in that range.
Oh, wow,
And
that's
yeah,
huge.
it's I believe this one is in New York. There is a copy of it at the Spiritual Art Museum in Franklin, Ohio. And
Hmm.
but this is one of like 30 paintings I did for this gentleman.
I see. That's nice. Actually, Sufism, as I understand, I also don't understand. I think this is um, I wouldn't call offshoot of Islam, but Sufi, they belong to Islam religion basically, but they believe in more in spirituality rather than what we do as a religious person. I think that's my belief. I may
Yes.
be wrong. So this is another picture that I
Yeah, it's called Man in the Woods, and
man in the woods.
yeah, it's an interesting story how this all came about. But it was, again, it's about it's one of those commissions I did for this gentleman,
Uh-huh.
and it's about spirituality. You know, because when you talk about spirituality, you talk about religion, they're be similar, but they can also be two separate animals. And in this case, it was one about somebody being one with nature
Yeah,
and the
one with the nature.
spirituality
Yes.
from that.
Mhm.
This guy, yes. So a quick story about it is I had a student, and I told him what I was trying to do as a painting, and they said, "Well, I have a great model for you." And I had never met this guy, and so she brought this guy to the woods where I was painting, and so he came down this path with no shoes, no shirt, and a
Okay.
pair of cut off jeans,
Uh,
and he is obviously a little intoxicated, and
Intoxicated. Okay.
yeah, probably smoking something. But
He 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 was
anyhow,
really one with the nature, huh?
he was really one with nature, and he plopped himself right down the middle of a poison ivy patch and struck that pose, and that's what we did as a painting. I never saw him again afterwards, so it was definitely a moment for me too. But that was a fun painting.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, this is a real nature
Uh,
painting. Let me say something about this painting, okay?
okay,
Not the painting, not the painting, the road. My father was here. He lived all his life in India.
okay.
And one thing he was fascinated by was that in India, when they build a road, they will try to kind of make it the whole way plain. So a lot of work taking the dirt down, making the whole thing plain. Here, the roads are built just as the earth topography is. Hill
Oh yeah,
stays hill, bottom stays bottom.
right.
So with that, I'll let you speak about it.
Well, this is a painting I did in near Canandaigua, New York,
Uh,
which is kind of upstate New York.
uh,
It was done on location, and I was doing what they call a plein air event. The event was, a competition. So
uh-huh.
you go and paint for a week, and you put your paintings up at the end of the week, and they're up for sale and for competition. And this one actually won Best of Show at that competition.
Oh,
And
great. Yeah, it's a great
yeah,
painting.
thank you, sir.
Yeah.
And it, during that time, which you can't really tell in that painting, it rained, snowed, and sleeted, and the wind was always blowing.
Oh, during the
But
painting?
during the painting, yeah, and
Ah,
it took me a couple hours. That must happen in those 2 hours. But
oh boy.
again, yeah, I remember all my outside paintings very, very much in detail. But it was a nice moment,
Yeah,
and I very much enjoy doing plein air painting,
yeah.
which is what that is. That plein air just means to paint from life on location.
Okay.
That is the Wind River Range. That's on the east side of the Wind River Range in Wyoming,
Uh-huh.
and that was a commission, and these people would travel up to this lake, and I forget the name of the lake at the moment, but and the lake is the name of the painting, so you got to forgive me for that.
Lake,
But
no, that's that's what it is.
yeah, but it's a it's a I think it's 36 by 50 or something like that. It's a fairly large painting.
Yeah, they're the huge paintings.
Yeah.
And this painting, I was wondering why you made it like this. Looks like it's after dusk or something because it doesn't look very bright.
Yes, it is yeah, it is after dusk. This is a place where my father used to take me when I was a child, and we would fish there together, and so it's kind of a special place to me. But it was definitely an evening where the sun was going down, and so it's more about the moment for me. You know?
And this fascinated me, this gentleman. He is very impressive face, beard and mustache.
Yes.
Who is this person?
Dan. I forget Dan's last name. He is now deceased, but he was also an artist, and he modeled for a group of us. And you know, he always had these interesting hats, and he always had this great beard, and so he made a great model. And
yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's about 2 hours of painting right there. So it's
really?
considered, yeah, kind of considered a head study. But
wow, that's a very different kind of painting.
It was a lot of fun to do. Yeah. So you're showing me the two kids here.
Yeah.
This is a painting I did from Wisconsin on Madeline Island. And everywhere I went on the island, of course, it's an island, so you run into people all the time. But I'd run into these two kids playing, and so I asked the mother if she minded if I would paint them. And so this is a painting I did from these kids playing in the water. I was impressed by this little boy being so kind to his little sister.
Well, the sister seems patient as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice sharing moment, and it was one of my favorite paintings from that time.
Okay, this is another nature painting. Where was it?
Again, Wind River Range. This time on the west side of Wyoming. Wyoming is, as you know, is a very large state, and the Wind River Range covers quite a bit of Wyoming. But this is coming in from the Green River, which is what you're seeing. And I spent some time there. I went up in the mountains a couple of times on horseback. And this is from one of those trips. There's a sliver of a road at the mid section on the right of the painting. You can see it. Yeah. And
I see that. Yeah, I see this right up front. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that travels back in way to the farthest mountain in the very far back, travels all the way back into there. And then there's two lakes called the Green River Lakes.
Oh, I see.
And, yeah, but I fly fished and painted this and camped there, and I spent some wonderful time there. So, and I just recently sold that.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. This is also Wind River Range.
I see. Yeah, this looks like a dangerous place.
Yeah, I was actually on horseback when
horseback.
Went up in the mountains. About 5.5 hours on horseback. We camped up there for a week, and I would paint myself and 3 other artists, and we hired this packer to take us in, and so they brought in all the food and everything. We just had to get on the horse and bring our painting and equipment.
So you do artists. So artist friends, they get together and do this together.
Yes.
That's nice.
Yeah, it is. You know, the plein air painters are they get along pretty well. I think we are considered more the blue collar workers of the art world. You know, we get out there in the trenches and get it done. Yeah.
Okay, this is the last painting this is what you painted for us.
Yes.
And we looking into the past, and this got a lot of applause.
Nice.
Me and my wife kind of. So I used to have a turban in my past. Now I don't.
Right.
So that was very nice of you.
Sure. And you. So I remember when I first met you, I said, I believe you were Sikh. And you said,
Yes.
how did you
Yes,
know
I was born.
that?
I'm born in a Sikh family.
Yes.
And that's the religion I identify myself with.
Understandably. Yeah. Yes. So, but it came from doing all those commissions of all those different cultural religions, which has been a tremendous help to me in life, learning all that stuff.
Yeah. No, you always, actually, your paintings always fascinated me. I mean, as a person, I enjoyed being your friend.
Very much enjoyed.
One thing that I would like to, one question actually is, what is the advice that you would like to give to the new budding artists, if you have one?
It's a lifetime of work. It's not, this doesn't happen overnight. I mean, I am 63 years old, and hopefully you get better as you go along, but that only takes hard work. It's like anything in life. You get back what you put into it. And but I find the best people you can to study from, and then paint. Draw, whatever you got to do to make that happen, because it doesn't come easy. And there's hardly any financial reward in it.
Well, yeah, you should go there because you like it.
That's right. Absolutely.
Well, Chuck, with that, I think, thank you very much. I want to thank you for being here. And I think our audience will really enjoy it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
ਲੇਟੈਸਟ ਨਿਊਜ਼ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਸਾਡੇ ਚੈਨਲ ਨੂੰ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਕਰੋ ਤੇ ਸਾਡੀ ਲੇਟੈਸਟ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੀ ਨੋਟੀਫਿਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਬੈਲ ਆਈਕਨ ਦਬਾਉਣਾ ਨਾ ਭੁੱਲਿਓ।